The Mike Gallagher Show.
Sydney Sweeney, she's like a very hot actress right now.
She's a registered Republican?
Yes.
Oh, now I love her ad. Is that right? Is Sydney Sweeney? You'd be surprised at how many people are Republicans. That's what I wouldn't have known, but I'm glad you told me that. If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic.
In the ReliefFactor.com studios, here's Mike.
Did you hear the news about American Eagle, the jeans company that the left has freaked out about because they apparently young, beautiful white women aren't supposed to be jeans models anymore? Their stock is through the roof. They can't keep the jeans in stock. They can't keep up. What a time to be alive. Looking around and watching the Democrat Party just get annihilated day after day. What victories do they have? What achievements? What accomplishments? You're about to see 51 Democrats evidently face arrest for fleeing the state of Texas. And even people in the culture are getting pushback from their own audience. Look at Charlemagne the God. This guy went on Laura Trump's show the other night and ripped into her father-in-law. But okay, so be it. You know, Charlemagne is a big-time urban host. He's a guy that has challenged both sides of the aisle pretty regularly. And, you know, he's a talk show host. He's got a radio show in New York City. And he took a caller. And the caller held his own against Charlemagne and one of Charlemagne's sidekicks. He's got like a crew there with him, right? Like some of these, you know, zoo programs do, or some of these, like these morning zoos, or some of these music shows. And I don't know the format, forgive me, but I know Charlemagne is very successful. It's kind of tacky that he goes on Laura Trump's show and starts bagging on her father-in-law, but if that's how he feels, that's how he feels. And he took a caller. I think the call didn't go as expected.
You haven't told us nothing he's done. You said the European deal. The crazy thing about the European deal, the tariff last year was like 1.5%. Now it's 15%. So how does increased tariffs help us?
Okay. So do you think that other countries should be able to tariff us, but we don't tariff nobody else? Like, that makes sense to you?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I
have a low IQ.
Exactly. Okay. So other countries have been putting tariffs on our country, but we have been giving people no tariff.
Yes.
This is the first time since 30s that we're actually bringing in billions of dollars from tariffs.
Okay.
And
but you know,
I feel like that's a positive for our country.
But you know we fit the bill for that. We
that
the people.
Affects us.
Like we the people fit the bill for those
tariffs.
tariffs.
No, that's not true either.
I can't have this conversation with you if you're not going to be honest, sir.
No. I'm being 100% honest. So if you look at the actual facts, other people are accounting for those tariffs in the sense of those businesses they're not raising our prices. They are taking the hit on them.
Okay, and what else? What else has he done? Please shed the light on it.
You think a whole bunch of prices have been going up?
No. You keep asking us questions. No, shed the light on what he has done. What do you rate his presidency? What is he doing for you?
The border.
For you.
The border.
Yes, okay.
The border.
So from an immigration
the border.
I actually like that you put work requirements on certain social aid things, because we all know that people sit at home, people steal their EBT funds, people you got work requirements now. That I feel like that's a positive for everything.
Okay.
Everybody should go to work. go to work. You go to work. I go to work. Everybody should go to work, but you know it's people that sit at home and don't do nothing all day. All right. Sit on their porch.
Okay. Well, thank you for calling, brother.
That's your opinion. I'm not mad at it.
Thank you for calling, my brother. I'm not mad at you. He was mad at him earlier when he said, we're not paying. Look, this is this narrative, the talking point that a lot of Trump haters are running with, that we're going to pay for every penny of the tariffs that other countries are paying, with the argument being, well, companies in America are going to have to offset the costs somehow, So therefore, we're going to pay for every penny of the tariffs. Just isn't true. That's completely bogus. Check out what Batya Ungar Sargon said last night on CNN, explaining, because most people don't understand tariffs, so they get bamboozled by Trump haters into thinking that Trump's success with the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars of revenues that we're generating through tariffs is somehow going to be borne on the backs of the American people. Listen to what Batya said last night on CNN.
Do you know who's responsible for the dollars we've raised?
The tariffs.
Yeah. No. Who is responsible for the tariff? You just gave the statistic about the amount of money we made off.
$108 billion.
Who's responsible for it? Who's paying it?
So it's been a combination of three things. Yes, it has.
Come on,
it's
talk
been
to
a
me.
combination of foreign governments, foreign countries, a combination of the corporations.
Almost there. Come on. And who else?
Last one.
There have been a few companies that have.
No.
Yes.
Like the American spender. Come on. The American. Who pays tariffs? Who pays the tariffs?
Right, but then
just to come with me.
lawmaker proposes a bill to give them money back.
So
The Democrats are upset about it. Because inflation has not risen significantly.
And but it has risen.
Obviously, it is being paid by somebody else.
No.
We know that foreign governments and corporations have eaten the vast majority of the tariffs.
And I will quote my good friend, the great liberal Eric Erickson, who goes out on a limb and simply says...
The fact that a conservative said something doesn't make it true,
No,
Bakari.
I've been saying that in my entire life. You've been agreeing with me. Eric Erickson even pointed to the fact we've raised all this money from tariffs comes from the American individual who's spending these dollars.
That is false. The fact that Eric Erickson said it doesn't make it true, Bakari. It is false. The vast majority of the tariffs have been paid by foreign governments and corporations.
That's really not how it
Just real quick.
Which is exactly true. And she's right. Eric Erickson, who's no Trump fan, repeating it doesn't make it so. A lot of these old-time establishment Republicans hate this trade war. They hate tariffs. They don't understand it. They want us to pay other countries tons of revenues in tariffs, but they want to give all those other countries a free ride because that's the way we've always done it. And of course, the American consumer has borne the brunt of that. And Trump is saying, real simply, evidently something that the Eric Ericksons of the world are against, put it on an even playing field. Put it on an even playing field. Now, again, I've said this a million times. I'm no economist. Neither is Eric. But doesn't that make sense? If China or Japan or Brazil or any other country, if other countries, Canada, are going to slap us with tariffs, we're not allowed to turn around and slap them with tariffs? And she's right. The vast majority of tariffs are being paid by... What do you think the countries are doing? That's what a tariff is. The country pays it. Now, the Eric Ericksons of the world, who, again, don't agree with the Trump agenda. A lot of people talk a good game. They got to play the game. They've got a platform. I don't want to look like I'm all completely, in the tank for the Democrats who are trying to stop Trump. So they've all got their own different agendas, and everybody's entitled to an opinion. And look, Eric, I don't want to pick a fight. He's a smart guy. I just don't trust a lot of these establishment Republicans who are hell-bent on crushing Trump's agenda when it comes to tariffs. If I gotta, and I'm not trying to, again, pick any kind of fight here, I say this with respect and deference. If you're going to ask me from a business perspective, who am I going to trust? A successful billionaire builder like Donald Trump? Or a radio host out of Atlanta? I'm going to go with President Trump. And I'm not saying that Trump is never wrong. But in this area, I mean, look around right now. Look at inflation. Look at the GDP. Look at what's happening. Look at our economy right now. Look at the stock market. And all of these people pretend that's not happening. Well, bad stuff is going to happen. Bad things are coming. Oh, you better just wait. They've been saying that since January. And the guy knows what he's doing. Trust him. Have a little bit of faith. Check out Newt Gingrich, also from Georgia, like his fellow Georgian Eric Erickson is. But let's listen to former House Speaker Newt Gingrich last night on Fox Business.
I think that if you take the combination of the one big beautiful bill with enormous breakthroughs in both taxes and regulations, you combine that with the relative effect for manufacturing of the tariffs, and you combine that with Trump's going around the planet picking up sales for American goods and picking up investments for America, I think by next summer we're going to be in the Trump boom. It's going to be very real, and it's going to create a choice for the voters next year between a Trump boom on the one hand and the Democrats' gloom on the other hand.
Look, we just learned that the U.S. trade deficit plummeted 16% in 1 month, May to June. Trump's plan is working, and the never-Trumpers and the Democrats are livid. They can't believe it. The so-called smart kids don't know why the stock market hasn't crashed. The smart kids can't figure out why the GDP is where it's at or inflation is where it's at. They don't get it. We get it because we trust the guy and we trust his economic plan. 800-655-MIKE. They act like everything is failing. And look around. Have a reality check here for a change, huh? I am so intrigued about this woman standing up and saying that she's a proud Guatemalan before she's an American. I got to learn more about this Ramirez. This is something that I can't get out of my head. Delia Catalina Ramirez. She represents Illinois' 3rd congressional district. We're going to dive into what she's all about here in just a moment, because let's be real for a moment. Let's face it. If a member of the Congress, if a U.S. congressman stood up 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago and said, "I'm a proud Guatemalan before I'm an American," they'd be done. There's no way they could continue in that capacity. They'd be removed from office. What is Speaker Johnson saying about a member of of Congress bragging about being a proud Guatemalan before they're an American? Look, if you're from Guatemala and you live here and you hate America, okay, sorry you feel that way, but you have a right to feel that way. Does a U.S. congressman have a right to feel that way? Oh, boy.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.